Alright, today I'm going to show you how I made this lovely armature, and I wouldn't suggest you, yes, because my tongue is tied. Anyway, these are the pieces I'm going to be using. I made all of them myself, so this is hand carved out of wood that is entirely too heavy for an armature. Please use lighter wood if you're going to try this. Don't try this, actually. This lovely piece is the chest. My brother drilled the holes for me because I don't like using power tools. And these pieces are a little too big and heavy, as I've said. I carved these lovely calf pieces here, the new calves, because I wanted the knees to bend right there. Also, notice the tape on my finger? That's where I cut myself when I was carving these. So seriously, be careful with knives. All of the limbs are made out of copper wire that I twisted together because I couldn't find thicker wire. Seriously, this cost me like nothing. Only like 59 cents for the Band-Aid, but that's pretty cheap. So I started by gluing his head on first, and that was a mistake and made everything more difficult. So think through these before you go gluing things together, because it wasn't a good idea. And there's the reason I say you should not do what I do, because I'm using my finger to model hot glue while it's still hot. Really, it's not a good idea. It burns a lot. It's just... See, this is why I shouldn't have glued the head on right away. Because afterwards, I could not get his darn arms on. His arms being that really thin piece of wire. They should have been thicker, I realize now, as I'm trying to put clay on it, but that's okay. It's still pretty darn good. So I tried putting on the arms first and then sticking the head in, but the wire got tangled up, and it just would not go in there. So after trying in vain to do it a normal looking way, I had to take the pliers and smooth out the wire because it just kept getting tangled up. And then I used hot glue to just smooth it out completely. And yes, I used my fingers to smooth it out because that's the best type of paintbrush, right? And now for some enlightening entertainment by my younger siblings who were being loud the entire time I was recording. Yes! Alright, I got it.
What the heck is a rectagon?
Oh, he just got creepier. Wait, rectagon?
Yeah. What the heck?
Anyway, after I glued his lovely chest on there, I gloated about it because I was happy it looked like that. Fun fact, my hot glue gun stopped working properly, so I had to get my little sister to hold the armature while I glued stuff on because it didn't want to function like a normal hot glue gun that day, so I had to figure it out. But before I figured it out, my little sister was sacrificing her fingers for the sake of art. She was very noble about it, very noble. As I was using my fingers to smear the hot glue, it just occurred to me how creepy he was, and it even screwed up my grammar. Like, I couldn't even call him creepy without messing up my grammar. My armature gets creepy and creepier as I go. Holy cow, that was a lot that just came out. Excuse me, I meant to say, you have no No, I just missed it! Dude, I don't even remember what I was gonna say now. I just screwed up all of it, whatever. So his lovely chest is finished. End of chapter 1. It's gonna look like this little ugly dude. Hi. How you doing? And now begins the saga of... Can you... Alright, I'm gluing on his back. Alright, does it make sense, right? I'm gluing on his bottom half, his hips, his lovely last square. Yeah, I burned myself. Fun fact, Hot glue is said to have been invented in the 1940s by Paul Cope, but text mentions hot glue as early as 1907. It used to be poured from a pot or applied with paintbrushes, which you can imagine how many burns people got from that. Like, even with a gun, I'm burning myself constantly. And you know why? It's probably because I apply hot glue with my finger instead of the hot glue gun. See? See why you gotta think things through? So this is about the point I forgot to measure his legs. So instead of doing one piece of string pulled through the two holes like I had been planning, I tie them together on top and then pull them through so they look all right. So I take those two top wires sticking out of him in a creepy way and I tie them together like so. Flatten with the pliers as needed, because it was needed. And then as soon as that's done, tighten everything up and pull it through. And you've got yourself a nice pair of legs. Wiry, thin legs that should have been thicker. If you're cringing because I just stuck my finger in that wad of hot glue, don't worry, I cannot feel heat anymore. It's totally fine. And just look at that gorgeous pair of walkers. Ain't that just the most hideous thing you ever saw? Seriously, I want to cover him with clay because it just looks so bad. Whatever, he's an armature. That's cool. Okay, so now comes the attachment of his shins or calves, whatever the heck you want to call them. I don't care. I didn't feel like drilling holes through a piece of mango because it's fragile, so I just carved a ditch in it to run the wire through. A ditch, a slit. I carved a slit for the wire to run to, and then I just covered the front with glue so they couldn't escape.
I didn't know.
Nope, not doing that.
Ah, shoot, my pen cap. There we go. Did I mention how thankful I am to my pen for sacrificing not only its cap, but every drop of ink in its little body? Don't you just love those little strings that come off the hot glue? I was tempted to make her an entire wig out of hot glue strings, but I decided not to because they stuck everywhere. I'm gonna be a little more serious here. I hadn't actually planned out how I was gonna make her feet. I was like, I'm not carving a stinking foot for her, let alone two. So I ended up just winging it like I usually do. Like I did this whole entire time. Yeah, I didn't tell you I was winging it, but I was totally winging it, guys. I had no plan whatsoever. I bet you couldn't tell. Look how expert I'm just like cutting myself and the hot glue off all the time. It's beautiful, man, beautiful. I will now apply the scalding adhesive to seal in this small creature's brain, for soon he will become a living creature. And I can't figure out why my siblings call me crazy. Anyway, I used my knife to cut off all the excess hot glue and smooth everything out, and then I got ready to wing the hands and feet. And I kind of liked that part. That part was fun. Okay, so here's my brilliant feet plan. I just made loops of wire. That was it. And I left that little dangly thing on to help balance him because, like I said, the wood is way too heavy, so he's really off balance and can't stand well. Like, his legs are way heavy. Oh, look, my camera fell. Anyway, the foot design was great, but it doesn't balance very well, and the clay does really bad when it's sticking to just plain wire, so I added a bunch of hot glue on top. Problem is, I should have added 1 foot at a time, because then I had to spin the whole darn thing to keep it from dripping onto the countertop and my hands and my dear pen cap, so it was a little chaotic. I should have just attached one at a time, but still, it worked, kinda. I mean, it's not pretty, but it worked. Okay, at this point, 3.5 hours into my little armature, I was really proud of how he was coming out. I mean, I was like, man, it looks just like that horrible drawing I did. I was so happy. I'm still pretty happy with it. It didn't cost much, so I'm really happy. For the hands, I twisted up some more wire. And I basically tortured it into a paw shape because that was the easiest thing I could do, and I didn't feel like doing fingers. Ta-da! So after I finished twisting up the hands, I just covered them in hot glue again because it's just the easiest thing to do. I didn't cover the arms in hot glue because I thought maybe it would make them stiffer, and the hands are just heavy already. I didn't need to add more weight to the darn arms. And it turns out I had the same problem on the hands as I did on the feet, except this time it did catch me. It was dropping everywhere. Oh, yeah, I got on my thumb. See why you gotta be careful? And now I'm using my thumb to smooth it out. After 3 hours and lots of burns, he's finished with a gorgeous complexion and flexible limbs. Who's proud of me? Because I am. And he even walks. That's cool. I tested him out. Look at that. It's beautiful. He can wave and, you know, do anything he wants. Sorta. As long as I'm holding him. Anyway, I gotta go. Time flies. Thanks for watching. Oh, look, he's got a message. I don't know where that...